Hi, today I'm going to read Sprinkled with Murder by Jen McKinley. Does she really think we don't see her? Angie Delora asked her best friend and business partner, Melanie Cooper. Mel blew her blonde bangs off her forehead and came around the counter of the cupcake display case to glance out the front window with Angie. How many times has she driven by today? She asked. 7 times since we opened this morning and 12 yesterday. You'd think if she was so worried about our shop stealing her customers, she'd be slaving away in her kitchen baking something. You'd think, Angie agreed. Just then, the icing pink refrigerated van did another slow drive by their window. Angie and Mel smiled and waved. Olivia Puckett, the driver of the van and owner of a nearby bakery called Confections, gave them a wide-eyed stare and stomped on the gas, bumping the curb with one of the van's tires in her haste to get away. Maybe she'll get a flat, Angie said. We can always hope, Mel agreed. Mel turned around. She refused to let Olivia Puckett's paranoia dampen her joy with her own shop. Fairy tale cupcakes had been a dream of Mel's for several years, and now it was finally open. She loved everything about this petite shop, nestled in the heart of Old Town Scottsdale. With a Western wear store next door and a tattoo parlor on the corner, Mel felt as if she fit right in with the amalgam of quirky shops that filled this quaint neighborhood. She had chosen a retro 50s decor. Everything was in shades of pink and gray with lots of chrome and glass. Her main investor and childhood friend, Tate Harper, had made her tone down the pink a few notches. He said it made him feel constipated. Whatever. Angie was refilling the silver napkin holders on the booth tables in front of the window, and she glanced frequently at the street to see if Olivia made another pass. Angie had been Mel's best friend for 22 years, since the first day of 6th grade, when they met in homeroom. Students were seated alphabetically, so she and Mel ended up next to each other. Mel had a powerful sweet tooth and frequently kept a stash of candy on her person. On that day, she had a milk chocolate bar, the kind without nuts. Unfortunately, her sweet tooth caused Mel to be on the chubby side, which made her the object of much teasing. Wanting to be nice to the new girl, however, she offered Angie half of her candy bar. Angie looked so grateful that Mel knew she'd found a kindred candy freak. But when she reached across the aisle to hand Angie the chocolate, the class bully, Jeff Stanton, snatched it out of her hand with a mean laugh and said, "Thanks, fatso." Mel probably would have shed some private tears in the girls' bathroom, but Angie had exploded out of her seat and grabbed the candy out of Jeff's hand before he could shove it into his mouth. "Who are you calling fatso?" she asked, and poked him in the belly, hard. Jeff looked like he was going to slug her, but just then Joe Delora strode into the room. He was tall and muscular, and he was swinging his car keys around his index finger as if he hadn't quite gotten used to the fact that they were his. Or maybe he was just showing off. Either way, he frowned at Jeff and reached around him to hand Angie a paper lunch bag. "You forgot your lunch in the car, Ange," he said. "Thanks, Joe." She was still glaring at Jeff. "Need any backup?" Joe asked, glaring at Jeff too. Jeff visibly shrank on the spot. "No," she said as Jeff scuttled back towards his desk. "I'll pick you up after school." Angie quickly leaned over to Mel. "You want to come over to my house today?" "Sure," Mel agreed. "And, hey, what's your name?" Angie said. "Melanie." "And my friend Melanie, too," Angie called after Joe. Thank you for stopping in today and listening to a little bit of Sprinkled with Murder by Jen McKinley. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more about Jen or about her books, hit the description below, and you can follow to her website and learn anything you need to know. So remember, the description below. Thanks for tuning in.